Stan Getz was an American jazz saxophonist. He's slightly unusual from the American jazz stable in that he wasn't black. He had a somewhat Jewish background, somewhat English, but did grow up in America, was born in America. His career spanned 1943 to 1991. In his early career, he played with some names that I've heard of: Jimmy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, Woody Herman. He played with lots of people, and then he became a name in his own right, as tends to happen for the people who appear on this list in the jazz thing. They become a band leader, and then they crank out very many albums. So this is true for him. He struggled with addictions through his life, and he lived in Sweden for a while. Dizzy Gillespie was an American jazz trumpeter. He originated in South Carolina, and his career spanned 1953 to 1993. Little stories about him. He was once fired from Cab Calloway's band for stabbing Cab Calloway in the leg. Midway through his career, at a party, his trumpet got bent. Somebody sat on it, apparently, or something like that. And he found that he liked the sound. So although he got it straightened out, he felt himself hankering for the sound of the bent trumpet. So he got several of them, actually, over the years, specially made with the trumpet pointing up at a 45-degree angle. And I think my favourite story, in 1964, he put himself forward as a presidential candidate, proposing various things, but including changing the name of the White House to the Blues House, a cabinet mostly of famous musicians. The Librarian of Congress was going to be Ray Charles, for example. Malcolm X appeared on his list as well, and lots of other people that you would have heard of. Like all these well-known jazz musicians, he's produced many, many records. He was also a writer, so he's credited with quite a few tunes himself, and an actor. Sonny Stitt was an American jazz saxophonist. His origin was in Saginaw, Michigan. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. His career spanned 1943 to 1982. There's less information about him on his Wikipedia page than for some of these jazz luminaries. But he did produce lots of records, well over 100. Hi, my name's Dan. If you've got any comments about this album or about the review, I'd love to hear them. Pop them in the comments down there. And there's a button down there as well that's got the word subscribe on it. And if you click that, then you will, I believe, get notified when I make new videos, which is a rate of roughly one a day at the moment with these reviews. Join me, come with me on this journey to discover the world's best albums. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, this album, having had to introduce 3 different musicians in the prior bit, it is tempting for me to do a 2-word review. I will try and keep it pretty short because you've been very patient so far. Between the 3 of these guys, the discography is huge. We're talking probably well in excess of 200 albums between them. And their influence has been amazing over jazz. So you have to bear in mind that I am not a jazz freak. I have a little bit of knowledge of jazz, but not a huge amount. But I know 2 out of these 3 names are, very well thought of as jazz musicians. Quick description then, it's fast jazz. I once heard a description saying there are 3 kinds of jazz. There's hot jazz, cool jazz, and what time does the tune start? Well, this is probably mostly in the hot jazz kind of category because it's fast and it's kind of ding, 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 ding stuff. But it's also a bit kind of quite, I wouldn't say free jazz, but the soloing is is quite off the key and all over the place in a, I would say, in quite a good way. It's certainly the sort of jazz that would be really good to use for chase scenes in comedy films. That works quite well. It's got intricate and complex lines. The tracks are maybe a bit longer than you might expect. So there's only 4 tracks on the album. But I found it enjoyable and energetic, so I'm going to give it a solid 7.2, and that's it from me for now.